Oh, I don't have my laptop somehow. Okay, cool. Whatever. Oh, it's over there. All right.
I just have the chat open on Twitch. I do not have Twitch open, but it looks like Twitch happened. But I don't see anything on YouTube.
Going into both right now. I am getting live
Yeah, I'm
on
getting
YouTube.
YouTube here too. Okay, I'm gonna mute it.
I am muting as well. Luckily, Twitch comes up muted. Okay, so Jabe, go ahead and in the Twitch chat, if you're there, type !clip.
Okay.
And hit enter.
Then it says, oh, let me just log in. That will probably do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'll need to do that. Okay. Where I don't have the Twitch window open. I have the Twitch chat and I have the YouTube chat.
Oh,
let me go ahead and run we'll do a 1 minute ad right now. I think we
hey,
can do
Dresden. What's up, Dresden
Rich is
Media?
here.
Hello.
Hey, hon. Rich, have you used !clip in the chat? Hopefully you can still see. I don't remember if you're subscribed or not, and I just ran a 1 minute ad, so hopefully he can see.
Yeah. Is that Dresden Media's name is Rich?
Yes.
I probably shouldn't say that, right? Because we are live and like
he has been
dox anybody.
He's been live on the stream before, so
yeah, I know, but I don't know if he's like I'm just trying to be respectful. I don't know what the rules are with this stuff. It's like I get hit with every now and then. I'll just make an old person Gen Xer faux pas and be like, "Oh, I had no idea that was an etiquette thing." Like it's
okay.
like, oh.
So it worked for me.
Yeah, I'm just going through the process because I long story. I have my password and everything got.
Oh, all that shit. Yeah,
I'm just doing waiting for the text to get the code.
What's your account name on Twitch?
Just Condensed.
JUST or JEST?
JEST. So and all one word.
So this is not like infinite.
Condensed.
The play on joke milk. It's a long.
I understand.
Right. So I got let me see. I just have to get to my email.
You are now a moderator. Rich, are you a moderator? I think you are. I don't remember if you agreed to be a moderator.
You just gave it to him. You're just like, yeah.
If you want to be a moderator, Rich, let me know and I'll mod you. You can swing the troll hammer. The ban hammer.
Love that. I forgot about that. I love that phrase. I forgot about that phrase existing. It's a good one.
The ban hammer.
How are you, Lil?
I'm doing great. I found this card this week, and when I was living in Richmond, I was roommates with a bunch of artists, and they made me this for my birthday card. Hopefully it shows up.
I see it. Oh, that's great.
I love that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that hand drawn or and painted, or is that
hand drawn?
It is.
Phenomenal artist.
Wow.
Every time I did a show, they would do posters for me. And so and the only problem is all of them were before I transitioned, so I kind of just have them in a closet somewhere. But it's good. I came out of the closet and all the old shit in the closet.
Stuff had to go in.
Yeah, there was a big hole for everything in
there. The show isn't. We haven't started yet, everyone.
Oh no,
these are preliminary jokes. These are bonus jokes. The stream starts. This is the tech run. Yeah, Rich says he's been a mod for a while. You see, you've got that on. You've got that on lockdown.
I do. He's been a mod, but he didn't have mod privileges. So you've been reunited, and it feels so good.
Let's try this again.
Okay.
There's someone in YouTube too. Hi.
Hello. I have YouTube up. It's
yeah.
My tabs are stacked though.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just
that.
saying hi to whoever is here. And yeah, it's okay, yeah, so it does work. So I guess so I don't know how that works. You just basically just when we say something great, when it's so good that it needs to be commemorated in time, like just go ahead and zap that and you use your good judgment essentially.
I
Right.
wonder if I can get to the specifics of what that is. I think I can. Let's see.
Like yeah, the
Live
amount
clip.
of time and all that.
Yeah. Let's see. Clip. Chat message. Wait. 10 seconds. So it doesn't tell me how much it does. Usually a clip will be a minute long. So and it apparently what is this? Wait. No, okay. Wait allows you to delay further actions for a specific amount of time. This keeps the action in sync for presentation purposes such as timing, an overlay image. Actions do not wait for their work to complete. So yeah, I can't understand. It's telling me that wait for exclamation point clip is 10 seconds, but the instructions are not clear enough as to whether it delays. So like you clip what I'm saying right now, and it does that plus the next 10 seconds. So it goes forward
That's what I
10
would
seconds and then
think.
gets a minute backwards from there, which
Makes
could be it.
sense.
Or it could be you do exclamation point clip now and you can't do it again for another 10 seconds. It could be either one of those, but again, it'll take some
We'll
precision.
just try it
testing.
and we'll see what we get and then we'll sift through it later, I think is probably the realistic best.
The whole point of this is, Jabe, and this is why it's so important that you're here, and I really appreciate it, is regardless, it is incredibly helpful because we have a 2-hour show, and if we can get 4, 5, 6 clips out of it, then we can go through those minute-long clips and find the bit that we want. Or even if it doesn't have everything we want, we can go to that timestamp in the show. But basically, we don't have to sit there and watch the entire show for 2 hours to find clips.
You can get to the clip and it's like a reminder. So it doesn't have to be, I get it because I was like, well, I think the moment's going to be longer than a minute, but you can get there and then.
No, Lilith and I are always very concise and to the point, and we never beat around the bush.
But the anecdotes are
one of us is
all just a minute long. And I catch it right on the thing and just be like, get to the thing you got,
I'm gonna make you a sign. I don't have my fat marker, so this isn't gonna work. But I'm just gonna hold this up when I get that from Amanda.
Fact check, just have the fact check.
Yep.
You're like, it'd have to be like pop-up video, or it's like boop, 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 and like a little fact comes up. It's like,
yeah,
what Amanda said was completely untrue.
Completely untrue. False. You should not listen to her. All right. Well, I'm sorry for the little bit of chaos and coming in late. It looks like everything is working.
Yeah, it seems like everything's working.
Those responsible have been sacked. I love that. That is a Monty Python reference. Is that Holy Grail? I think that's Holy Grail. Genius reference. Thank you for that. How is audio, Rich? Is everybody pretty well leveled?
Do you have any echo stuff?
Any echo?
Same thing, Shive. If you can hear that, let us know. Does anyone have any weird echo, or can you hear everybody? Is there anyone whose mic isn't on? Stuff like that.
So, if you want to do a bonus transition Tuesday before we go live, or consider it for another time, Shive in chat has actually asked, how do you know if you are trans?
Oh, I love that.
That's a deep I'm gonna say it's a personal question, not like it's inappropriate.
I'm okay to take. Since we've been doing this, it's always been our hope that this is the exact thing that would happen. Because like
Yeah.
we've been sourcing our questions from like the internet, and they're not these aren't people asking us, but like someone that's asking us is what we've always wanted. And so like it's like, okay, yeah, we'll do this. I mean, Lilith, how do you feel? I mean, to me it's Twitch chat, and I have I'm getting some weird backup stuff.
You're getting other stuff. I don't have anything open.
I don't know where
doing
that's
that.
coming
No,
from.
it was me. I muted YouTube
Okay,
and
that's loud.
it's for some reason unmuted, and now it's back to muted. It confused me as well.
But what I
Okay,
meant,
so we're all good.
what I meant in it's a very personal question. Like I said, it's not too personal to ask. It's a very individual response, I would think. You know, I think that
Save it for the show.
we all
Save it for
we
the
all
show.
kind of figure it out differently. You could actually do it for your Transition Tuesday today.
It's okay with me, Lilith. How do you feel about that?
I thought we all just had the dream where
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That was the dream. That's the whole point of this.
the mystical unicorn came to your dream and told you.
You just gave us everything we've always wanted.
I thought it was because when I was oh God, I was gonna say this and I just like there's no way to say it without it sounding inappropriate. I was gonna say that like a trans person touched me, but it sounds like in a
I was gonna say
it's like touched by an angel.
The unicorn horn just tapped me on the forehead, and you know.
Yeah, my parents took me to drag queen story hour, and here I am trans because
I saw bosom buddies.
It's all
and like
indoctrination and horseshit.
It got converted. Yeah, it's just like one time I saw a rainbow at Target, and that was it.
And my mom didn't know how to explain it to me, and so it just here I am.
Just so everybody's clear, all of this. We're making fun of
we're high budget. We're pro.
We're making fun of right wing.
Like we couldn't even afford
tropes.
an actual piece of paper. It's just like we're using junk
I
mail.
couldn't even afford a pen that had ink in it. This is a dried ass old Sharpie.
That actually came in the mail today with lies written on it.
Not paper. It's an envelope. It's one of my bills. Yeah, like. This is
good stuff.
High tech, high budget.
That's the thing is like we're going into the future. We got to be more environmentally conscious. So we can't just be like using sheets of paper.
That's what I said. I burn all my rubber tires in the backyard. I am all about the environment. It's like, get rid of these things. Burning plastic is just, what are you doing to help the environment?
I just clipped that, by the way, so hopefully we'll get that one. I gotta.
That's a keep.
The first two. That was a
Listen, we haven't even started yet. This is the tech rehearsal.
I'm not part of the show. Neither is Jabe. We're just
here. Yeah, we're getting the gang back together.
Eventually, I will be behind the curtain as soon as possible.
About like 7 more minutes. So we'll go soon.
So
but yeah, I have. Oh, go on, please.
Oh, Lilith, I'm curious, real quick before we get started. How does one use the pronoun goddess in referring to you?
You know, you just call me a goddess. You know, like when you're talking about me and I'm not there. You know, instead of have you seen her, and you just have you seen the goddess?
Seen goddess, yes.
Yeah. Have you seen the goddess? Where's the goddess? The goddess demands tribute.
So, Amanda, you're going to be very excited what my big errand for the day is. I am going to go get myself a new planner and try to get organized because I've been trying several different things. Nothing's quite working. I'm getting close, but
the idea that you're thinking about maybe someday doing it, like that's the best thing. That's the first step. One foot in front of the other.
Seriously considering organization. Like I am really giving it a hard think.
Some people tried. I mean, if you're looking at planners, you might be interested in. There's this the BlackBerry. I heard that was a device that was kind of just more up. You know, like more tech savvy than the binder planner. But
I appreciate that, but I think that might be a little bit too high tech, a little bit too modern for me.
May I suggest the Newton?
Now go old school, get a Moleskin one that has the months and then the weeks and then even the days in it.
Just
I'm
get
excited about
you
the
need the
days. I'm excited about
Mayan
the days.
calendar. You just need a big giant concrete wheel.
Just
Have you thought about going memento with it and just tattooing everything you need?
It's like, yeah, just
Post-it notes
taping Polaroids all over your body.
That's really a fascinating idea. Doing something like Polaroids, like incredibly visual. Like, I wonder if for artist ADHD brain, if that would actually be a better way of doing it. But then I'd spend hours trying to figure out what is the appropriate visual, reminder of this concept.
So here's a book recommendation. It's called Moonwalking with Einstein, and it's about people who like participate in the world memory competitions. And basically what they do is they shuffle a deck of cards and they have like a minute to look at all the cards and they have to repeat them in order that they are in the shuffled deck. And basically they create little devices for each one and try to memorize them in order. And that's where the Moonwalking with Einstein comes from. That was one of the ones made. But this guy who wrote the book studied this for a year. And then after a year, while he was writing the book, he actually had made it to the finals of the competition.
Huh.
So like, have you ever heard of like building a memory castle where, you know, if you have like, what do you have to do today? You've got 10 things to do today. You kind of imagine entering your house and then they're in your house in order and you go, and that's how you memorize it. You're like, oh, the front stairs is, you know,
the first time I'd
shopping.
ever been exposed to that was in the book Hannibal, about Hannibal Lecter, the
late great Hannibal Lecter. Yeah.
Yes. Fucking A. And yeah, that was how he remembered
Was
things.
he,
and that was also
wasn't he
how
the former Republican chair? Was he the Speaker of the House?
That was also how he avoided feeling pain. He was able to go in there and avoid pain. It's just like pretty fascinating stuff. I didn't understand it, and I don't know if I could ever make that work. But
well, I highly recommend it for
palace, but questionable diet.
I highly recommend it for memory, and I do not recommend it for serial killing or whatever it is for.
Okay. Yeah. Got to make that distinction. Got to put the caveat out there because we are providing a very public service here.
I would also say I figured out why Hannibal Lecter keeps coming up in these speeches.
Ooh,
because
do tell.
Because there's one thing we know about the former president, he's very much a surface level person, makes attachments quickly and is just stream of consciousness. And so when he's going on a rant about people coming to America seeking asylum makes him think about a famous serial killer who was locked in an asylum, Hannibal Lecter, and he really doesn't make the connection that a mental asylum or a criminally insane asylum is different from people seeking asylum. He just makes the jump.
Just very very loose word association.
Okay. Asylum, that's where the Joker lives. The Joker's great.
The worst person to try to improvise with because he's just making connections that don't make any sense. Yeah, Arkham Asylum, the Joker, he's coming over the border. It's like, what are you talking about?
All right, we're live in 2 minutes. I think we're good to go. Emily and Jabe, I love you both. We'll see you in the chats.
They're sending their worst.
We're about to start.
They're sending their Jared Leto's. They're not sending their Heath Ledgers.
They're not sending their Heath Ledgers.
They're sending their worst Jokers.
Well, hopefully, when y'all see me again a week from now, I will be much more organized.
Oh, I'm sure.
Although I'm probably going to have to miss next week entirely.
All right.
But we'll use this as our driver.
Week after that, there's no show the week after that because
you're going to Tampa, right? That's your Tampa show.
Tampa.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it'll be a while before I get to see Lilith again. So travel safe. Love you, and have a good show, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, and Jabe, all we got to do is stop our video in Zoom, and we'll disappear from the show.
All right.
Make sure to mute too.
Yeah. And here we are. And we've got 1 minute before we start. So I'm
What
just
are we
going to
doing?
sit here in
What's going
perfect
on here?
silence. I'm just going to sit here in perfect silence. I'm not going to say anything. Wait, no, it's 12. We're officially live. This is the show. Hello. Welcome to Being Trans with Lilith and Amanda. That's Lilith. I'm Amanda. Hello, everyone that's here in the chat and here to do stuff. We're going to do a couple things today. We've got the things we always do. We've got Transition Tuesday. We're going to answer questions from the trans community. And we actually have a live question to answer from she, they, and the YouTube. She gave us a question. Kenny's here. Kenny Darling is here. Hello, Kenny. Nice to see you. Great. Also, we've got a Culinary Delights episode that we're going to do today. And then also, I have a secret, I have an unboxing thing. An unboxing video kind of thing. Is that still a thing? Are people still doing the unboxing videos?
No.
No, that was like
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. You do know. You know everything about pop culture. You got your finger on the pulse.
I definitely do not.
So I remember
kids still play with Tamagotchis.
Well, I don't know because it's hard to tell. Maybe unboxing videos are still popular because they just are so great that everyone just loves it. Like, why haven't we always been doing this? Or it was one of those things that was a flash in the pan fad for 6 months, like the combination CD player MP3 player that went exactly in model 2001 cars.
So I want to do this unboxing first, but before I feel now that I've said Tamagotchi, I have to tell this story. The best day of work I ever had in my entire life. I was working at an Office Depot, and some kid lost their Tamagotchi, which is like a little pocket LCD. It's like a little pet you have to feed and you have to do. And my little department, I was in charge of the copy center. There were like 4 of us, and I was in charge. And then I'd leave for the day, and someone else would come in. We did everything we could to keep that poor little digital Tamagotchi alive. And then the parent called and asked for it, and they came to pick it up, and we were able to return a completely intact and healthy Tamagotchi to this young person. And
that's delightful. That's
the real takeaway is that work sucks.
I mean, it didn't feel like the main theme, but I feel like it's a running theme throughout America.
The best day of my life at work was keeping a digital pet alive for.
Oh, that's a great job. That's yeah. See, like, I think unboxing's gone because Emily says in the chat that it's like, oh, Kenny's asking if I'm going to unbox. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to unbox.
Well, you're going to unbox it.
So I'm going to unbox it. Like
that. You're going to unbox it.
I'm not going to say now. I'm not going to be. I'm going to unbox a car stereo for a Porsche 911. I'm not going to do that. It's not that, by the way. I do not have a car stereo in a box anywhere. But my dad might.
Do people still buy car stereos?
My dad just bought car stereos. He was wrestling with car stereos because he's got this old Volkswagen that he's got. So it came out it's a 2015. Super interesting stuff here, I know. And but it was the year before Android Auto, and so you can connect to it, you can kind of do stuff with it, but it's this weird. It doesn't work very well, and he wants to get a modern one that has Android Auto and all that stuff in it, so he can, use it like a proper vehicle in the modern era. And he just is having the worst luck with it, and he's got 3 car stereos laying around the house. My dad was an engineer. He has stuff. So
unbox.
Should we unbox first?
Yes,
is that what we should? Let's unbox. So I got this. Came in the mail today, and this is a significant thing. Here's a box. It's this box right here.
So that's part 1 of an unboxing video.
I don't have a banana to make banana for scale. So a banana would be about that big probably, and so that's imaginary banana for scale.
I mean, That's about the size of a car stereo, so I'm gonna guess it's a car
This is
stereo.
not the size. This is not the size of a car stereo.
Yeah,
but
a small
what
car
it
stereo.
is, what's in the box here? We're getting there. This is part of the anticipation. We can't. We are from a generation where comedy was edgy, and there are things called edge lords, and that I like to think we're moving away from that. I don't really appreciate it so much anymore, but there is also another thing called edging, where it's like it gets you to like right at the edge of like and that's what we're doing with this unboxing video.
Are you
It's
still
like we're
talking
not
about
going to
unboxing?
open it.
What are you?
I'm talking about all sorts of things. I'm talking about unboxing.
You are all over.
I'm
the
talking
place,
about edge. I'm talking about Rick and Morty edge lords, and I'm talking about edging, the whole sexual thing, which is inappropriate for children. So if you are a child watching, unhear that part. Not really talking about that. Yeah, borderline inappropriate. It's on the edge, you might say. So here we go. This is what we got. I mean, it opens like this, and it
That's
is
how a
in
box opens.
fact. Well, this is part of it. This is part of how you unbox in a video.
I can see it. It's a car stereo. It's clearly
a car stereo. It's a car stereo. But I'm just kidding. JK, LOL. It's a recyclable box. That's good. And here it is. It is a coffee mug, as you can see on it. It says, "Don't talk to me until I've had my hormones." And this is a coffee mug that you could get too. It's available on the Transverse, in the Transverse store. So if you go to etsy.com/the Transverse or the transverse.etsy.com, it'll get you there. Either way, Transverse SE, you type that in. This could be yours. I'm going to drink coffee. There it is. It's in the chat. You can go there. You can get yourself one of these beauties and drink whatever. You don't have to drink coffee out of it. You could drink Diet Mountain Dew, like what's his name, the vice president guy, JD Vance. JD Vance drinks Diet Mountain Dew. He could drink his Diet Mountain Dew out of a coffee mug that says, "Don't talk to me until I've had my hormones," because he's super supportive of the transgender community.
Actually, just to show you how strong the grift is in this guy, you can find apparently he went to school with someone who transitioned, and that person has released all the supportive texts and emails they received from JD Vance when they started their transition. And everything about JD Vance is just a grift to get more power. So
yeah, what do you know?
What do you know?
He's even lying about being transphobic.
He's like lying about being.
He's in the closet about being supportive of the transgender.
Just so dumb.
It is a grift. It is a grift. But we've got a show. So Lilith, I know you tend to do culinary delights first, but I would implore you, since we've got that live question from a viewer, let's do that. So the question was, how do you know if you were trans?
We got all the funny answers out pre-show. So if you were here, 20 minutes ago, we kind of got that energy out. I'm gonna let you go first. I don't have an answer.
Well, yeah, but and the reason that you don't have an answer, because there is no one answer to it. Like, it's a complicated thing. I knew really, really, really early on, like when when I was old enough to know what the difference was, I knew I would have rather been a girl. And that was probably like I was 1.5, 2 when my sister was born. I remember that. And that was right around when I figured it out. But like, I didn't really know for sure, because back then there was this narrative that was like, there were the transgender people like existed as we always have, but like it wasn't really visible, but it was there a little bit. There were a handful of people. There was like Christine Jorgensen, and there was the one girl that did it in the 50s. That was like she was kind of a celebrity. And then there was Wendy Carlos. And so there were like a handful of, like, you heard about some transgender people, and then later on in the 90s, they would have some trans people on like shows like Maury Povich or all that. But there was always a trope running through it. And the trope was always that like the phrase that they used back then to describe it was like, I feel like I was a man trapped in a woman's body. And that's what everyone said. Everyone said that phrase, and that's how everyone thought about it. And like that didn't really accurately describe what I felt like. I didn't feel like I was like trapped in the wrong body. I just felt like I really would have rather not been this one and rather had that experience instead. And so it was really a hard thing to parse because back then there was no one to talk to. And back then, like there was no one to there was really no way to finding out information about it was even hard because like there wasn't the internet, there wasn't social media, and there just wasn't a lot of discussion about it, and it was so much more taboo to talk about it that like you felt a lot more scared to tell anybody. These days it's a lot less open, a lot less easier to find. You can go into all sorts of forums all over the place on Reddit, on Facebook, on Instagram, like everywhere there's a social media, there's a bunch of like transgender forums that you can go in anonymously and ask questions. What are you laughing at?
You're like so far from the question.
No, I'm getting there. It is I'm getting there. And so the way you figure out how you're trans is by I think is by experimenting, is asking questions and asking the community and finding out. And the one of the things that I found in my experience and a lot of people that I've talked to that are trans that did come out and figured it out eventually was that like in general, like if it's not universal, it's not across the board, but in general, if you're questioning, like it's probably likely that you are, just because that's not generally a thing that cis people really do. They don't generally question their gender, at least not in any serious capacity. But if it's something that occupies your mind, if it's a constant nagging thing, it's this perpetual thing, that's this desire that you suppress, like that's what it was for me. It was like it never was not there, it was always there, like at occupying mental bandwidth, like no matter what I did, no matter what I was doing, it was always an ever-present thing for me. But it's different for everybody. Lilith, what was your experience?
I mean, we've talked about this past similar to you. Like I knew at a very young age, and um, just didn't have a way to verbalize or vocalize it because, again, that kind of talk wasn't things we had. You know, we didn't have those discussions, and now you have those opportunities. Now, I would say that, you know, yes, you're going to hear a lot of like, well, if you're thinking about it, then you're trans. I don't think it's that simple either.
It's not that simple.
I think honestly, how I went about it is I felt like I knew about it when I got to, you know, when I started seeing more trans people and it became more of a thing on social media. I started exploring it more. And I think, you know, I saw a therapist and talked to my therapist about it, and I kind of, you know, pushed myself out there and kind of explored it and found out what felt right for me. You know, I felt like the thing I knew is that I felt wrong, and things felt wrong the way I was living my life and the way I was expressing my gender. And I started, you know, changing that. And that's when I started noticing like this feels much better. This is much more in alignment with who I was. And when I first started, I wasn't going to take hormones. I was not going to transition. I was merely mostly for performance. I'm a comedian, so I would go on stage in this persona, and just the more I did it, you know, I became more comfortable. I realized through therapy and through the way I was changing. But when I started coming out, I was feeling more confident. I wasn't being held back by these thoughts about how I'm presenting. I often joke that, you know, with pre-transition, you've got so many things going in your mind to make sure that no one knows that you're trans. You know, you're doing all these things you don't even know it's running. It's like a malware on your computer where all this stuff is running in the background to make sure you don't do this thing that people will think you're a girl or feminine or whatever. And once I started exploring my gender, I lost those things and became much more confident. And then honestly, you know, this probably doesn't help too much. Like once I started hormones, like that's when I really felt like holy shit, everything's in alignment with me for the first time. Because, you know, essentially at the end of the day, body, yes, you'll have things about your body you like and don't like, but honestly, for me, I feel it's such a mental thing with your hormones. And I bet you if you surveyed everyone who's ever taken hormones for transition, you know, how much did the hormones kind of help that alignment, and that you're getting the wrong hormones is my experience. And
That's been mine as well. Yeah,
once I started getting
same.
those right hormones, I felt in alignment. Again, everyone has different body issues and things about them. I'm not saying that those still don't bother you or that's valid or invalid or whatever, but I'm saying for me and for a lot of people, the hormones are those first step where you can finally like breathe for the first time and it feels like it's right. But I would say, you know, exploring your gender, feeling what feels right for you, talking to a therapist about it, and just going over those things. I think that's a great thing. But I think there's this thing where of like, you know, you see it online a lot where it's like someone's like, I might be trans, and all of a sudden everyone's like, you are trans. No one else will ever think that. And like, do this, this, and this. You don't have to do all that. You can do one small thing and see if it feels in alignment with who you are. If it relieves the stress, you know, if you're thinking it, there's probably something that's causing that stress, that mental anguish. Are there things that relieve that mental anguish? And it might lead you to a full transition. It might lead you to hormones. It doesn't.
And it might not.
And it
like,
might not. But it might. The
the
point is to like be in alignment with who you are. And I always say I'm not transitioning to be a woman. I'm transitioning to be my best self and to like live that life that I want to live. And that's all anyone should be allowed to do.
And on top of that, I think it's a really good point that like not everyone can go on hormones. Like some people it's inaccessible, they can't get it, or they have health issues that stop them from doing it, or they just don't feel comfortable with it. And that's okay too. Like I had a support group that I used to go to, and I lived up in Seattle, and they used a phrase that I found very inspiring. Which was that there's no wrong way to be trans. Like it's like there's a lot of, I think that the community is pretty inclusive, but there can be clicky people who are like, there's the true scum and all that people that's like, oh, well, if you don't feel dysphoria, you're not trans, and they make all these rules about it. And like, no, it's a big umbrella. It's like if you don't feel like that, my definition for it, and everyone's different, is just my take on it, which is if you're not comfortable in the gender you were born as, then you're trans. Like that's it. Do you feel comfortable in your assigned gender? If so, then good for you, and congratulations, you're cis, and right on, and you don't have to worry about it. But for those of us that don't feel comfortable, well, there's layers and levels and all this other stuff that like does take it's different for everybody, and it takes work. And as far as like what Lilith was saying about like the hormones and how that changed her perspective, that same. When I started taking HRT, one of the first things that I noticed is it started changing around my brain, the way my thought patterns worked, and it also changed the way my emotions were, and it kind of unlocked all this stuff that was there that I didn't know was there. But even more than that, one of the main things is I started feeling physically better, like just all over. And it was so caught me off guard because the doctors didn't tell me about any of this stuff. I didn't know about any of those things. I just like, I knew that I wanted to do it. And I did it, and then all of a sudden, like, I started feeling really good periodically, and it was just like, oh, that feels nice. That's a nice bonus side effect. And then what would happen is eventually, like, that good feeling, that good physical kind of warm wash of feeling physically good kept happening more and more frequently. And eventually it got to the point where, like, I just started feeling like that all the time. And I came to the realization that it's not so much that like it feels good, it does, but that's how fucking bad I felt my whole life, because I didn't have a baseline. Like I was born that way, and I always felt bad. Like, and it feels terrible having the wrong hormones in your body. And when you get the right ones, it feels so much better and so much more comfortable. And it's such a relief. And it is one of those things. How do you figure that out? I don't know. Try, experiment. Like Lilith said, therapy's great. Try stuff just even in the safety and the privacy of your own home. If you've got a space, just, wear some women's clothes, wear, or men's clothes, or what, however you want it. Wear gender appropriate and affirming clothes, and try little things, around the house. If you have support groups, are great for that stuff. Go to a support group and try on a new
Can I get
name
some
and some
comments?
pronouns.
Can I
Go
get to
on.
some
Yeah,
comments?
let's hear some comments. Yeah, let's talk about that.
So there's quite a conversation going on YouTube, and I just want to pull out a few things. Elijah Marie, male or female is determined by gender, internally, not your sexual characteristics. And I think that's one thing to remember, is this just like, if you know how gender is formed, like when you're this big, like we're all born the same, and then it's all hormones and body changes in the womb, and all of that is an opportunity for whatever. You get too much of a certain hormone when you're in, before you're born, your body changes a certain way it's not supposed to. All of those things are physical, but really it is like, how are you inside, and how are you reacting to your hormones? And I feel like, I also feel like, there's how you're going to change, what am I going to look like? And I get it, like we all want to, I think internally we all have this idea of like, if we start hormones, who we're going to look like or how we're going to look. For me, once I started the hormones, I just realized it really is about your internal feeling and how you're living your life and feeling yourself. And it's easy for me to say, because I'm at this point in my life where I do not care. But honestly, like,
well, the hormones help with that, like a whole lot. Like,
well, no, I mean, if you have insecurities about how you look, if you have that, like, the hormones aren't going to change you that much. It's not going to be a thing, but it's going to help you internally. Well, I mean, it will change you some, but
it depends. It's case by case. They changed me quite a lot.
Okay,
I could show you pre-transition photos.
I don't know why you insist on disagreeing here. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yes,
if you have, you should learn that. Yes, and if you have a mental picture of yourself as a woman before you start your transition, there are only things happen, but you don't take the hormones to look. I mean, we'd all love to look gorgeous. We'd all love to look like that, but it really is about like finding that mental peace. And for me, I would trade the looks for the mental peace. I feel right now,
for sure,
is exactly what I was looking for. And so I get it. We live in a very superficial world, and there's, feminine beauty standards is a real thing, and it's easy to get sucked into as soon as you start your transition. But really think about your mental health, think about finding that alignment with your true self. And again, the other things are all secondary, and you can always figure those out, from there. Are you in the comments now too?
I saw one that I wanted to bring to the attention.
This
is LOL Dongs in YouTube says, but now I feel stuck. Insecurity about being bald and overweight, plus a lot of body hair, keep me from feeling safe actually presenting as femme, even though I am on HRT. All super valid concerns. I got real lucky with a lot of that, in the sense that, like, I was at the age where my hairline was just starting to recede, and then I went on HRT and it just came right back. That's when hormones actually do take care of a lot of that eventually. It's just not fast. Like, I was
fully almost fully male pattern baldness. Had a couple patches, but I actually, and again, I know I'm speaking from a place of privilege, and I'm sorry, I'm just telling you my experience. Like, I did find a place that does hair transplant surgery, and I had hair follicles taken off the back of my head and replanted. But honestly, if you know what, honestly, I'm just gonna I never do this. But
I know you don't.
That is, I mean, it's all combing it over and stuff, and then I got the forehead here. Do I wish it was different? Man, I wish everything was different. I wish I had to start.
Yeah, I wish I never had to deal with this in the first place.
But yeah, I totally feel, and overweight. I'm pushing 300. I get the vibe and I get the feeling, but it really is about where you are now and what can I do today to make my life what I want it to be. And again, like I said, when it comes to surgery, we were just talking about, like, I had an electrolysis session yesterday. I'm by no means independently wealthy or anything, but I do have the money to kind of make things happen that I want to make happen. So I understand that not everyone is coming from the same place. But also there was a time
there's other things you can do
where this wasn't my life, and I figured out what I could do with where I was at.
I wanted to bring something up about the body hair too, because body hair, this is for LL Dong specifically, which is they mentioned that they're already on HRT. HRT will take care of the body hair. It's just it's slow. It takes years. But I was pretty hairy. Like, I was very hairy before I transitioned. I still could, like, I don't know if you can see, but like you can't really see much on my arms. These were coated in like black dark hair. My legs were super black. I had chest hair. Like, I don't have it all just went away. Like, it just, and it took a long time, and I was super dysphoric about my body hair. One of the things I'll tell you, a bit of advice I wish someone had gave me if and that I had listened to it, was whatever you do not use a depilatory. Those things are terrible for you, and they'll wreck your skin. I shaved, and I used depilatory on my arms because I just couldn't stand it.
Is that the stuff just so people know, is that stuff that just
it's like Nair. Yeah, it's like the cream. It's like Nair. It's like you put it on your skin, and it's this horrible chemical smell, and it basically burns the hair follicles out chemically. And I don't recommend it. It wrecked my skin, and I have all these skin problems now because of it. So don't do it. Just be patient, but it will go away. Like, your back hair will go away. Your chest hair will go away. It will go away. The only thing it really doesn't take away is your beard, which sucks. You still got mine. Well, it's that and my junk are like the two things that are my major sources of dysphoria. They're both medical procedures. It's like you got to get electrolysis. Really, it's the only thing that actually does anything, gets rid of the hair, and it's expensive and it's painful and it's time consuming. The only thing there is, though, other than shaving every day and caking on a shit ton of concealer. Oh my goodness! Anything else, Lilith?
I feel like we've answered as best we could. Like, how do you know? How do you know? You push your boundaries and you find out where you're most comfortable. That's how you find out if you're trans.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like, we've been doing this show. I mean, on the Transverse, I think we've got like 6 or 7 episodes up. But like, even before this, we had a show where we were doing it for over a year, and we would sometimes do 2 questions a show. So we've answered hundreds of questions. Well, maybe about 100. But like, no, definitely not 1,000. But like dozens. We've answered dozens of these questions, and I don't think this very obvious, very like basic question ever came up before.
Because we don't want to answer it. It's hard to answer. I want to do easy questions.
Well, there are no easy ones, really. I mean, these are all, that's the thing about being transgender, is like, there's no real roadmap for it. still a lot of trailblazing, and it's still a lot of guesswork and trial and error, and we're all learning as we go, and it's getting better. It's gotten way better in a very short amount of time, and it will continue to get better. Despite some political people's best efforts, they're not going to stop it. But it is getting better. More knowledge is out there, and honestly, with social media and support groups out there, you can find some of those. You can get so much more information and community the collective consciousness on this is worth at least as much as what your doctor's going to tell you. I'm not saying don't listen to your doctor. Absolutely listen to your doctor, especially if you trust them. But your doctor doesn't know everything, and if your doctor's cis, they definitely don't know a lot of what's going on. And most doctors are cis. It's just like it's good luck finding a transgender doctor.
When it comes to hair stuff, find trans-friendly stylists in your neighborhood. And if you're in a small, again, all this depends on where you are. When I moved to Detroit, first thing I did was like I did a Google search, and there was a place in town that like listed trans-friendly electrolysis places, trans-friendly hairstylists. So my doctor did give me the electrolysis first, and that's how I found them. But I guess eventually I should go see a hairstylist about this mess. But they can help you with products that might help you have fuller hair. They might also help you with styles that will help you use the hair that you do have. And I always this is from the old show. I always said, if you're in a city, keep a list of trans-friendly places you've been, because people are going to move to town, or you're going to go to a trans support group, and people are going to be looking for those things. And I think it's very important that we share that wisdom and share those connections and let people know where they can go to get a haircut from someone who's not going to judge them.
Everyone's web savvy, and you want to make a website, if there were a web database that was just across the world of where you could get stuff, if you had it Wikipedia, where people could just put stuff in, hey, have at it. That would be a super valuable, good website for the world to have. With all that stuff and hairstyling, I think most hairstylists are pretty open-minded about that. At least
I'd say do some research and
do some research. Yeah. Look for the flag. They'll fly the flag a lot. Do it old school and drive around. And look. Yeah, if you see the flag flying, you're fine.
See if your city or state has a a LGBTQ chamber of commerce. A lot of those sites have people who are a member of the chamber, and they join the chamber for the sole purpose of letting queer people know that they're open for business and want to help them. So look for that. Like I said, I went to Detroit. It took me 5 minutes of Google searching to find an amazing resource. Just had lists of categories, and you click on it, and if there was someone there who was trans friendly, they had their information for them. So maybe later in August I'll get a haircut. I gotta get my hair back to the way it was. I don't like the way this face.
I gotta address a couple comments in the YouTube chat because they're beautiful. So Elijah Marie's been in there a lot. And
it's rolling today. I know
it is. Elijah Marie's been saying a lot, and she said she's talking about how birth gender does gender comes from your soul, not your body. That's absolutely true. The body is it's a vessel. It's a thing that is there to carry your brain around and your soul and all that stuff. And it's so much more. It's transitioning is so much more than just the physical end of it. That's one piece of the trifecta, but it's mind, body, soul. It really is all of it. You have to do it all together and all at the same time. And it's about finding balance like anything else in life. But she's also said, not all transgender people choose to transition. Absolutely true. But obviously there's nothing wrong with it. Also true. And that they have a twin sister that is female. It says I am male. And so, lots of stuff there. But I just wanted to shout you out, Elijah. And also Ms. Shazamak, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm sure that I didn't. Says a couple things. Thanks for the education, ladies, and that we're doing the community. LOL Dong says we're doing the community great service, and that's really appreciated. We're just trying. We're just trying to help. But Ms. Shazimak says, "Oh, ladies, you got me thinking. Business opportunity. Hell yeah, it is. There's a lot of actually things. If you're of the entrepreneurial spirit, there is a lot of business opportunity to help and support the trans community. Absolutely, 100%. And so, yeah, I hope it does work out. In any case, I think that's that for that question. We can wrap that up. I want to shout out a couple things, for the recording. Like and subscribe. Come see us on the Transverse. We're on the Transverse YouTube channel. There's the
Buy a
Transverse.
mug.
Buy a mug
Buy
at
a mug.
Shop the Transverse at Etsy.com. We have a Patreon. Subscribe to our Patreon if you have the means. For I think as little as $5 a month, you could be a member of Patreon, and you're going to get exclusive content in there. Patreon.com/the Transverse. Some of our stuff's in there. Old things that you'll never see anywhere else. So we do these shows. We do this live show, and those of you that are here, you get to see it. And I think it stays up there anyway. But a lot of the stuff that we do, we don't keep. It just kind of goes away. And every now and then I'll go in and I'll grab a few things and make them into little condensed clips so you can see some highlight reels and some blooper reels and all that stuff that we do. Just rando things, bonus content. But it's there. Subscribe to our Patreon if you have the means. It really helps the Transverse a lot, and it helps us to do this and keep doing this show and all that stuff. Yeah. Share it. Tell people about it. Let people know. We do this every Saturday at noon, and
3 p.m. Eastern, the real
3
time.
p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific.
3
Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon 12 p.m. Pacific. Every Saturday is Being Trans. This is the live stream, so tell people about that. Let them know to get in here. And also our show Transition Tuesday, the recorded, condensed, edited version of what we just did, goes up every Tuesday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern.
Is that why it's called Transition Tuesday?
Well, I called it and then demanded the time slot because the Transition Tuesday was a thing that went on in a lot of the forums I was in, where those people would post their glow ups on Transition Tuesday. And so it's a phrase that's not uncommon in the community. And so I was like, well,
I was just joking.
It's alliteration.
I totally understand.
But then we do another show called Culinary Delights that is every other Thursday at noon, 3 p.m. And that's a cooking show that we're going to do. We're going to do that a little later today.
Later today, like next.
Well, I'm going to take a little pee break and water break.
OMG.
I pee so much now. The meds got me peeing, girl. And now it's summertime and it's been hot. And I've been drinking extra water and I am peeing. My peeing level went up. We had a day when I was staying with Lilith. I had to pee so much. I peed 11 times in one day. You remember that? I brought it to your attention because I was so irritated by it.
It was a fascinating conversation that we had.
It's so good. I have to pee a lot because of my meds and because of the amount of water I drink. But I love it. It's a small price to pay and it's good for you. So I got to go pee. I got to drink some water. Then we're going to get back to a Culinary Delights. Sound good?
Yeah. Do you have the
I got it. I got the thing.
Nice.
I got the thing. I feel like we should do some sort of thing. I don't have an outro. All right. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. We're back from the break. Glad to see you. Glad to be here. How are you, Lilith? How was your break?
Oh, it's so great. I had a little more. I have like some orange cream soda here. It was great.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I
Yeah,
had a crazy craving for soda yesterday. I
yeah.
work with kids and like we've been going to the park, and I have spent every day this last week pushing kids on a really heavy swing, and I'm getting quite the workout. And it's been hot, and it's right in the sun, and I'm just like, oh, and the kids are like, I just want to get pushed on the swing, and I do that, and I was just like, I just need a soda. So I don't drink a lot of soda,
I don't
and
either, but
yeah,
Sprecher, which is a local like Milwaukee where we're from brewery, had like a sale where you can get like their Orange Dream, and it's locale. It's made with honey instead of sugar. And I love. It takes me back to childhood dreamsicles, like the orange
oh
popsicle,
yeah,
the cream.
oh yeah.
So good, and it tastes just
Orange
like
and
that.
cream together are really good in
Yes.
any form. You had
Yeah.
that when we were in Milwaukee. Lilith
Yeah.
got a coffee that was an orange cream
Oh,
coffee,
so
and
good.
it was so good. And I was like, it's so funny when you like you find these like how many things surprisingly go well with coffee. Like you wouldn't think.
No.
Like I would not. I looked at that and I was like, even just thinking about like the colors mixing together.
Yeah.
It's like orange and coffee and orange and coffee. I mean,
So
coffee and
good.
cream, obviously. But like I would have thought that the orange and the coffee would have clashed, but
Well,
it
here's the
didn't. It
thing.
was so good.
If you're going to a restaurant, like they know what they're doing. Like they wouldn't like
Yeah.
make this concoction and drink and be like, ew, disgusting. We should sell this to people.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, like, there's all sorts of coffee flavors, like it that I've seen that. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have guessed the pumpkin spice latte is, but I
It's
love the pumpkin
disgusting.
spice latte.
Disgusting. I hate
It's
that
so
stuff.
good.
Hate that
I
stuff.
hate. Okay, I want to talk about this because that was like one of those trans moments that I had. So
Yeah.
I was working at Seattle University at the time, and I was commuting from Olympia to Seattle. It was a horrible commute. It ended up like destroying the
Oh,
job. Like I ended up not
yeah.
doing it. I ended up leaving the job because of it. But like what happened was as I was going in that day, and it was during the COVID times, but it was after at the part like towards the end of like the COVID like thing where they were trying to get people doing more in-person stuff again. And so I wasn't going into the office more than once a week. And so when I did go into the office, like I would dress nice, and I had that day I was in like full on business gear, like in like a nice like professional looking good looking jacket, and like just a real smart looking good looking suit, and like a nice skirt and some tights and nice shoes. And like I was on my way up, and the drive, it was so rainy, and it's such a long boring trafficy drive from, and it's just like and I got to about the halfway mark like in Tacoma, and I was like, I need coffee right now. And so
Oh, we got to the coffee.
I pulled off the freeway, and I went into like this mall, and there was a Starbucks, and I was like, okay, I'm getting the Starbucks. And I was just like, I had uh, everyone had heard. I'd never had the pumpkin spice latte. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. I bet it's good. I'll try it. And so I went into the Starbucks, and I got in my line, and I ordered my pumpkin spice latte, and I gave them my name. And then I was standing there in heels in a business suit with like my bag and like looking on my phone. And I just realized like, and I had one of those moments of clarity where it's like, I am such a basic bitch right now because I am like a businesswoman typing on my phone while waiting for my pumpkin spice latte in a Starbucks. And I was just like, oh shit. Like, and then all of like my whole life before then, and my entire pre-transition life just like came like roaring. And it was like, I don't know that at any point pre-transition I could have envisioned this. I just thought it was really funny. Great stuff. I think we're gonna do a culinary delights. Lilith, do you want to do a culinary delights?
I mean, I'm here, so we might as well.
You're here. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it in 5, 4, 3. Ladies and gentlemen and friends beyond the binary, welcome to Culinary Delights, the cooking show where Lilith and I, Amanda Bonanza and Lilith Electra, and myself, Amanda Bonanza and Lilith Electra, we talk about recipes that we find on the internet and we review them and we tell you about them. And sometimes we try them. We tried the meatballs, the Sloppy Joe meatball sub, and then we did a little montage of it last week. What?
Did you do the montage last week?
I did the montage last week. Well, you would know if you watched any of our shows.
I thought we were gonna do it live. I thought it was gonna be live. We could
do that live. We could do it right now if you want.
Do you have a peanut? No, we don't have to do it now. Do you have your peanut butter and onion sandwich?
I never made the peanut butter and onion sandwich.
Everyone is disappointed now.
Yeah, spoiler alert, that's coming out. We did that live last week, but or the week before. And then that's coming down the pike, but there's gonna be a different one. So it'll be a while before you get to re-experience the joys of the peanut butter and onion sandwich. But today we do have another classic mid-century wonderful dish. And so let me get my screen all together.
All right, let me just prepare myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna get all set. Get all ready. I gotta get. What do I gotta do? I gotta share the screen. That's gonna pop that up. You're not supposed to see that. Here we go. So we've got a lovely, delightful mid-century treat. An elegant treat. This is for fancy people. This is called... Hang on, let me get this right, because this is... There we go. That's what I want. And I got to organize it, get it all centered in the right spot for the people to see. Frosted ribbon loaf. This is what we've got today. Okay, without going into it, Lilith, what do you think frosted ribbon loaf is?
I assume it's some kind of American version of shepherd's pie with like meat and veggies kind of coalesced together with a layer of mashed potatoes on top.
I'm just gonna give you an interruption here. Whatever went on just then, your mic was really scratchy, and so I don't know if you can adjust your microphone, bring it down a little bit, maybe, or pull your hair out of. Yeah, it's your hair. It's your hair rubbing on it.
Yeah, well, tough.
Well, it is tough because I have to edit that stuff. And I got to work around your big, scratchy, terrible sounding microphone. I'm trying to help us all and our listeners as well. That's all going in there. Cycle like it is not. None of that. All of that's getting cut out.
So frosted ribbon loaf is probably some sort of mixture of meats and veggies in an American style shepherd's pie that has a little frosting of mashed potatoes on top. That's my guess.
That is a guess, all right.
Or
it's not
ribbon
right.
Candy. It's ribbon candy with
oh,
ew!
Wait, no. Tell me more about this.
You know, ribbon candy. That's like
what's ribbon candy?
It's like a hard candy that's like 3 or 4 different colors, and it kind of goes like this. It's something you'd have to know someone who is like 108 years old to even.
It's old people candy.
It's
like,
old people candy. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much weird, like anything Brock's.
First of all, these 3 words. This is like one of those things. Like, this is the first time this has ever been said. These 3 words shouldn't exist in a role like this.
They don't make sense together as words, do they? No, frosted ribbon loaf is really not a thing. Like that is like, and it doesn't really clue you in. I'm sorry, I'm hyper
be like-
fixated on ribbon candy because I'm sure that if I saw it, that I would know it. I'd be like, oh, that stuff. Like it's like these.
You must just call it like bikini spaceship tacos. None of that goes together. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
I mean, I feel like bikini spaceship tacos, like kind of at least you know exactly what you're getting into.
I pick 3 words at random out of my brain, and it sounds like a more delicious recipe than this.
It sounds like I having seen this recipe, I would way rather have bikini spaceship tacos.
all you're doing right now, what you're picturing, is me in a bikini top in space weightless, so my boobs are like perfectly floating, eating like those tacos we got at Jose's Tacos when you were here in Detroit.
Oh, those were so good.
Those so good.
Yeah, it's really good tacos in Detroit.
Yeah,
and I'm
really
saying that coming from Southern California here, where we have like some of the best tacos in the world, and like those tacos in Detroit, choice. Really good stuff. Really good restaurants in Detroit. Oh my God, that bakery. We had to have talked about the bakery.
I mean,
we can't.
Bomberitos?
Should we talk about it again? Yeah.
My offer still stands. If you're in Detroit and you want to go get a Bomberito sub with me, drop something in the comments. We'll make it happen.
For real.
I'm buying a Bomberito sub.
How about that?
Lucky person.
If you're in Detroit, you should take her up because that is like the best thing. It's so good. Okay, let's talk about this frosted ribbon loaf. Let's jump in and let's go here. Make this easy and elegant frosted ribbon sandwich loaf from the 1960s. So now we've added another word to the word salad. Now we know that it's a sandwich loaf. So this clever and tasty frosted ribbon sandwich loaf will elevate the elegance any party.
The elegance any party. This will elevate the elegance.
This will elevate it. This will elevate the elegance any party. Lilith, would you like any party elevate?
Well, I would like to say, like, I'm, you know me, I look ahead a little. If these are just like tea sandwiches and finger sandwiches, now I'm confused because I've gone to high tea. I've had the little sandwiches. I love them, like a little cucumber sandwich, delicious. Why give it a name that is so off-putting?
That it's not that.
It's not. It says it's a tea sandwich or finger sandwich.
No, it says it's a frosted ribbon sandwich loaf.
But
that's what it says.
The next paragraph says also known as tea sandwiches or finger sandwiches.
Okay, you're right. It does say that. Also known as. I didn't read ahead. Yeah. Lilith reads ahead, and that's probably good.
I got to come up with jokes. I got to be one step ahead.
You're one step ahead of me because it says also known as tea sandwiches or finger sandwiches. Classic ribbon sandwiches are an old-fashioned dainty nibble traditionally served at fancy ladies' functions. Think afternoon teas, baby or bridal showers, charity luncheons, or any elegant social gathering. How many charity luncheons did you go to this year?
None. I don't go to
Zero?
charity. No, I never get asked for stuff like that.
Never went to a charity luncheon? How many have you hosted where you decided to make like an elegant ribbon sandwich loaf?
You know me. You've been to my house. If I'm having a charity luncheon, we're firing up the grill and I'm gonna make some burgers or brats or something. I'm not making fancy sandwiches where you cut off the crusts. And no, I'm not doing all that. That's too much work. Start a fire, throw meat on the fire. That's the kind of cook I am.
You want like a Joe Rogan style charity luncheon?
Hey, this is gopher meat. The government doesn't want you to eat gopher meat, but it's high in octides. What are octides? The government doesn't want you to know what octides are either.
Interesting. Interesting.
That was the best Elon Musk impersonation I've ever seen in my life.
I was trying to do Joe.
What? No, that was That was Elon Musk just going like, interesting.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, random piece of shit right winger, like, sure, insert here.
Interesting.
The sandwiches were usually cut into dainty squares or rectangles.
Hold on. Go back. Go back one.
Go back. We're going back one.
One slide. They use dainty again.
Dainty.
Dainty.
So they use it twice. Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time you used the word dainty?
I don't know. A while.
It's been a while
since I've used dainty in a serious way. Like I may have used it like in a joke of some sort. That seems like my way. But like I can't think. Yeah, I don't know. No,
let me ask you this.
They used it twice.
If you close your eyes and just hear the word dainty, is this what you see?
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
That's what
for sure.
Is.
Pinky up. Pinky up is dainty. That is absolutely correct. I feel like this is the kind, just the way it's described so far, like this is the kind of thing that Lucille Bluth and Lucille Ostero would be fighting over. Let's find out more about it here. The sandwiches were usually cut into dainty squares or rectangles with the colorful layers of fillings, creating an appetizing visual effect that was both charming and appetizing. So I said appetizing twice, but they said appealing. So colorful layers, colorful. Go on. I already fucked up the speaking.
This might be the first recipe where they acknowledge that you eat with your eyes first.
This might be.
So many of these recipes we get, the food looks like garbage at the end. And this one, hey, it's visually appealing.
Well, so they claim. We'll get there.
I'm just saying. At least they're trying.
They are trying. This is definitely a trying recipe.
Yeah.
More ways than one. I actually meant that like complimentary, but then pun wasn't intended, but pun resulted. So let's say we got that. We got that right on there. Squeeze that one right in there. Just slid it in there like a real nice parking job.
Yeah.
Over time, variations of the ribbon sandwich began to emerge, like this frosted ribbon sandwich loaf from the 1960s. We've been talking about the 1960s food a lot lately, haven't we?
It's
like that's been coming up. I've been on I don't think it hasn't been intentional. I haven't been intentionally going to the 1960s for food, but that's what keeps popping up on my radar when I'm looking for preposterous food.
If you search bad or preposterous food, you're gonna end up
1960s. It's just like pops right to the front. It's just like floats right to the top.
We start with 2 pounds of pure beef tallow, and you're like, yeah. All right.
This variation took the ribbon sandwich concept to the next level by arranging the layered sandwiches into a loaf shape and then frosting it with a smooth cream cheese mixture. We all love our cream cheese mixtures on the outside of food, don't we?
Oh, yeah. It's great for your fingers. It sounds like Gordon Ramsay's like, we're going to elevate your sandwich. We're going to elevate it by layering it. Like, okay, cool.
Was Gordon Ramsay the one that said you eat with your eyes first? I don't feel like that was Gordon Ramsay. That had to be someone.
I'm sure every chef has said that, but that's an old saying.
Someone had to have coined that phrase.
Right, but probably not someone alive today.
It wasn't Guy Fieri.
Hey, man, we're going to make some trash can nachos, but first we're going to eat them with our eyes.
We're going to eat with our eyes first, man. That's what everyone does. That's why we're cooking these nachos in a beautiful trash can. Look at it. It's great.
They actually take a coffee can and make them in there, and then they dump it on a plate. I mean, I guess. Fine. I mean, what cheese and meat on chips? Yeah, I'm here for it.
It's delicious. I love it. I'll mix them all up in a trash can. Yeah.
But why give it an unappetizing?
No, I saw one where he did make it in a giant metal one of those giant old trash cans.
Trash can nachos. We're gonna slap some donkey sauce on there. It's like, what the hell are you talking about, guy?
He's just Guy Fieri. He's got flames on his shirt.
I had one of those shirts before I transitioned. Then, thankfully, I transitioned.
I bet it went at a high price for an auction.
It did. It had all my sweat stains in it from Vegas. Oh, it was disgusting.
I paid for my bottom surgery with
It
the
had
proceeds from
it had
that
little
shirt.
it had little dice for buttons.
I mean, flames and dice go together like nothing else. Like
trash
honestly,
cans and nachos.
like trash cans and nachos. What do you know about Guy Fieri? Because what is the latest on Guy Fieri? Because I have heard at first, when he was first a thing, like obviously we were all making fun of him because of like flames and dice and frosted tips and Oakleys. And then later on, I heard he was actually a really cool guy that did all this good stuff for communities and charities and all this stuff. And then I heard even later than that actually he's kind of shitty and a right winger. And so I don't know what to believe about Guy Fieri. Who knows about Guy Fieri? Do you?
So, I don't know. It doesn't surprise me anymore to find out anyone with any money is a right winger, whatever. But yeah, I heard that like
that tax break, baby.
He does stuff for the community and like all that. That's cool. It's good works. But yeah, obviously, it doesn't matter how good you are. Your crimes against fashion will not be forgotten. Like it's making fun of the things they can control is perfectly okay. You can control that. You can control buying those shirts. You can control whatever you're doing. And like, who am I to talk about what people do to their hair? But come on.
I don't know. So I feel like I've gone the other way. I've come full circle on Guy Fieri's fashion. Sure. I kind of love it now. And like it reminds me of a meme I saw a while back that was like, it was just someone found a toilet that was painted with flames.
There you go.
And it was like, the meme was just like, an evil wizard turned Guy Fieri into a toilet. Is this meme cool? Yes, no.
I mean, yeah, I got nothing against the guy, but yeah, like
I don't anymore. I don't think I do, but like it's so hard to parse these days. Like some people that you think are cool are not cool, and then some people that you think aren't cool turned out cool. Like it turns out Michael Bolton is like got a trans daughter and is super supportive, and he keeps quiet about it, but he's been super supportive of his transgender daughter like since well before it was like
cool,
like a thing. Yeah, like and so Michael Bolton of all people, who knows,
I mean, that's different. Like Michael Bolton, I never was into his music, but personally I had nothing against him. But like if you watch Guy Fieri, like he just like I just don't like the way he talks about food when he's on his show, and I don't like the way he dresses, and he kind of looks like he just like went to this like give me something stereotypical that no one like just a trash look that no one else in culinary is doing, and they're like, here you go, it's motorcycle rider on vacation in Vegas is your look, and you're like, okay, I'm the only one in the kitchen who looks like a motorcycle driver who's on vacation in Vegas. Cool, but you're gonna catch the strays from dressing like that. Like that's all there is to it.
He walked right into a Spencer's Gifts and was
he's like,
I need a shirt with flames on it. It's got dice for buttons. I need Oakleys for my head.
Make me look like a guy who's going to a bachelor party in Vegas. And he's been married for 20 years and has never been more than 3 minutes away from his wife. Like, here you go, bud.
This frosted loaf was then typically garnished with fresh herbs, vegetables,
I'm sorry,
or
did you say herbs?
Do you say herbs? It's herbs. No, I mean herbs. Fresh herbs.
Like
it's herbs.
Like men named Herb.
Like the word herb. It's herbs.
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 All right, I'm not going to get this argument with you.
If you go to England and you go to London, they're going to call them herbs. And the reason is because they're English and it's English. And it's so obviously herbs. Like, why wouldn't you?
We don't care how they say shit in London.
Why do you think the name Herb came about? It was from herbs. Like, that's how it happened. Or maybe no, maybe it was Herbert.
Probably. All right. Continue.
This frosted loaf was then typically garnished, we went over this, fresh herbs, vegetables, or even edible flowers. A pretty striking centerpiece that would delight your guests to this day.
Oh, to this day. They had it in
To
1964.
this
And today,
day.
your grandma is still talking about, oh, this lovely loaf sandwich that I had 60
At
years
a
ago.
charity luncheon.
At a charity luncheon. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Breaking news.
Breaking
Frost-
news. What?
Frosted ribbon sandwich loaf is a tasty treat. 1968. Article from Petoskey News Review, Petoskey, Michigan, December 18, 1968.
Is this really breaking news? Like we just
It's
discovered
breaking
this?
news.
Scientists
This
have
just
just
in.
discovered.
Slices of fresh bread held together by a rainbow of fillings and smothered all over with fluffy whipped cream cheese. Sound good?
No, because a rainbow implies the colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And as far as I know, I don't know of any foods that are some of those colors that I'd want to eat.
It's very little blue food. Like
blueberries.
Blue are closer to purple.
All right, I'm not going to get in this argument either. Not going to get.
Like, I mean, blueberries.
That blue frosting. It's the frosting. It's the blue frosting. That Cookie Monster colored frosting.
Yeah, but I mean, is there like there's not organically very much blue food? I mean, I've seen like drinks that are blue, like blue that use blue curacao,
corn.
but like
blue corn.
There is blue corn. Is it blue? It's like a dark blue though, right?
It's still blue.
Yeah, it's blue. You know what? Blueberries are blue enough. They're blue enough for me.
Captain Crunch, the blueberry, the
that's
Captain
real.
Crunch
Okay,
berries,
a blue icy from Kmart.
Yeah.
Blue red. Well, it's super funny that they just decided that they were going to make raspberry candy blue, and they're just like raspberries, something that are clearly red. Like, or just like, okay, they're blue now, and everyone's just like, okay, yeah, blue raspberry.
It's blue raspberry flavor. It's totally different than raspberry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is there? There's no such thing as a blue raspberry.
I know, it was totally created by man.
I think they just did that. They did that because cherry is red, and as it was, they were having a hard time distinguishing between cherries and strawberries. They had to make strawberry pink, and so like they were running out of colors because there's so many red fruits, and so it's like you got cherry candy is clearly red, and then like strawberries had to be pink, and then what are we gonna do with these raspberries? Well, just fucking make them blue.
They should have just done like Jelly Bellies, and just whatever color it is, you just put it in your mouth and figure out what it tastes like.
I mean, might as well. That's
the
thing. Does it sound good? I don't know. Here we go. Frosted ribbon loaf recipe. It's more breaking news.
This isn't a recipe. This is just a paragraph.
This frosted ribbon sandwich loaf is strictly for company. Don't you dare eat this alone. And when you see this thing, I want you to imagine like just sitting by yourself and eating this.
I imagine that if you're eating this alone, you probably should get some mental help.
Like, I can imagine
you're going through it.
I can imagine a pretty reasonable scenario where you're eating this alone, and that is after the ladies' luncheon has ended,
and no one showed up,
and no one ate any of your loaf.
Oh my God! Now I'm starting to see but cream cheese, ham, egg, and a tomato. Oh no!
It's revealing itself.
Oh, no.
The picture's coming in. It's like I gave you just a blurry screen, and it's slowly coming into focus. Frosted ribbon sandwich loaf is strictly for company and simply delicious. You slice through the luscious cream cheese frosting to reveal pretty layers of ham and egg filling. A tomato rose is fitting trim. And you do that. They'll talk about that. They're going to do that. So let's go on. So it says frost. Oh, I went the wrong way. I went the wrong way.
Why is this all breaking news?
Well, because I accidentally hit something with my mouse and realized I can do it that way. So I got this. I'm learning.
You just keep going.
Here we go. Ingredients for the ham salad filling: 1 cup of ground cooked ham. Ground? Have you heard of ground ham? Have you had ground ham?
I assume you would grind it yourself, but also ham. Ham is such a generic description for something that could be like 8 different flavors.
There's a million different
There's like
things all
maple
thrown
ham,
together.
honey ham, country ham, ham. Come on.
But you gotta grind. I'd never heard of ground ham before. Like, I don't think you would have to grind it yourself because I've never seen ground ham in a grocery store.
You just
I mean,
dice
so
it.
you get like a butcher shop, maybe.
Why can't you just dice it? Why is it got to
Well,
be ground?
you could, but that's not what the instructions
That's what I'm
say.
saying. All right, continue.
I mean, you want to get you? Are we going
Right,
to do?
so-
I have to keep bringing up the mayor pro tem example.
1 cup,
Off the rails that guy went.
1 cup ground cooked ham. Okay, we've got the
Ground
weird.
cooked ham.
We've got the rainbow. Now has
The
a
weirdest
flesh
thing you've
color
ever
in
heard
it.
of.
Yeah,
Starts
cool.
it all. Starts
Sure.
it all off.
All right.
1/3 cup finely chopped celery.
There's
Okay,
the
yeah,
pale
got
green
it. There
of
you
our
go.
the pale
Love
green
it.
of our rainbow. Sure.
2 tablespoons drained pickle relish.
Dark green of your
Okay.
rainbow. Like all rainbows have light green and dark green.
Doesn't say sweet or dill. Which one do you think they should use?
It just says ham. It doesn't tell you what kind of ham to use either.
Doesn't say what kind of ham. Doesn't say what
knows?
kind of relish.
Everything's going crazy. Oh.
As it's up to interpretation, I suppose. I feel like the difference between like sweet relish and dill relish is such a tremendous difference that you need to specify that, because that is an entirely different flavor profile, one versus the other, like completely different. And that will absolutely change the whole thing. So to not bring this up in something that's supposed to be elegant and refined seems like you really fucked that up, yo. So you got to try it. You got to make 2. You got to make 2 of these. You got to make one with sweet relish and one with dill relish, and then let us know.
But you also have to make one with each of the different kinds of ham. So good luck with that.
You got to do it, and then you got to make the combination with each ham and each kind of relish. So like, we're looking at like probably like 19 loaves.
Please, let's just get to the end of this recipe. This is awful.
You're like, put it in the comment. Leave a comment. Let us know. Let us know which of the loaves you made.
Yeah, everyone gets assigned a ham and a relish, and go do it.
Half a teaspoon of horseradish.
Cool.
Getting spicy.
Cool.
Yeah, might as well. And then a 4th cup of mayonnaise. 4th cup of mayonnaise. Why not? Right on. Bring it on.
Yeah, throw it in
Horseradish and mayonnaise. We love it together. All right. Now the egg salad filling. 4 hard cooked eggs, chopped. 1/3 cup.
Hold on. I believe they mean hard boiled eggs.
Presume so.
Because hard cooked could be
you could just fry them.
A fried egg over hard.
You bake them. Bake them in the oven at 350. Bake yourself some eggs.
I'm just saying that they're talking about hard boiled eggs, not hard cooked eggs.
I think you're right. Yeah, I don't think like a over hard fried egg is going to work in this situation.
As we're seeing, they're all over the place with what.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. Well, now we got to try that too. So add different kinds of cooked eggs.
At the end of the show, get your assignment of kind of. We're gonna
have to make a chart.
We're gonna have to.
like have all the different combinations. So far, I think we're up into probably the high double digits, possibly even triple digits with this, because that gets exponential every time.
Well, also, of course, stuffed green olives stuffed with.
Of course, we need a 3rd cup chopped stuffed green olives. We need stuffed green olives. It wouldn't be 1968 if there weren't stuffed green olives involved.
Plus, your rainbow needs all these greens, so that's like 4 colors of green now. Yeah,
there's more. 2 tablespoons finely chopped green onion. Yeah, cool. I mean that's great.
So, do you use the green part or do you use the white part?
I would use the green part for this. That's what I would use. Save the white part for Chinese food.
Okay.
2 teaspoons prepared mustard. I think we've come across prepared mustard, meaning not mustard powder, not ground mustard, but actual like French's or whatever. Like, it doesn't specify the kind of mustard either.
I always
so you could use like yellow mustard or Dijon or stone ground or whatever it is.
Honey mustard.
honey mustard.
I always sneak up on my mustard so it's unprepared.
A honey mustard dipping sauce from McDonald's.
Oh. Oh, the hot mustard, like
little
like
mustard gas.
Hot mustard from an Asian restaurant. Like
Exactly. Just pour a little wasabi in there. Yeah, why not? Go with the horseradish.
More mayonnaise.
And another quarter cup of mayonnaise.
Sure. Go for it.
Instructions. Ham filling. Combine 5 ham salad ingredients. Well, great, good. Number 2. Egg filling. Take a guess.
You combined everything from the egg filling?
Combine 5 egg salad ingredients.
Yeah.
Number 3, trim crusts from loaf. Now let's pause right there.
What
loaf? They didn't tell us.
What are you doing?
All we got was egg salad and ham salad instructions.
Am I using an entire loaf of bread for this?
I think you're supposed to use an entire loaf of bread for this. Doesn't say what kind of bread. Like banana bread, pumpernickel, like who knows, challah. Like it could be any.
Oh, I want to make some challah bread.
Challah bread, it's delicious.
And then you know what you do with it? You make French toast with it. Just
of course,
make a loaf of fresh challah bread. As soon as it cools down and I can stand to be in the kitchen for more than 10 minutes, I'm doing it.
Oh, I love that. I love the sounds of that. So you're gonna trim crust from your loaf. You're going to slice bread lengthwise in 3 equal layers. Butter slices. What are butter slices? What is that, a kind of slice?
No, butter, not butter the noun, butter the...
Oh, like butter the slices.
Yes.
Okay, because like I was like, what are butter slices? I didn't know if that was like a specific kind of 60s maneuver.
No.
For cutting loaves of bread lengthwise.
You gotta butter slice them. You gotta butter slice them.
You cut them in butter, slice bread lengthwise in 3 equal layers. Butter slices, butter slices.
Butter
like
slices.
That. But that's that. You mean butter, put butter on the bread.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Number 5, assemble loaf using 2 spatulas to support layers.
I cannot visualize what they're talking about.
I don't know what that means.
I do not know what that means.
What on earth? How and what?
Are you building it up and using the spatulas? Because spatulas just don't stand up on end either.
Hey, how on earth are you gonna? I guess you're not supposed to touch the loaf. Like once you cut the bread, that's it. Hands off. Now you're using like Edward spatula hands.
Okay. So hold on. This if we read this, each sandwich is 3 pieces of bread. It's bread, ham, bread, egg, bread. So you don't need a spatula to support that. You just need to spread everything evenly.
You just make a sandwich.
Put it together. You're just making a sandwich.
But you need to use somehow you're supposed to use 2 spatulas. And this is to support the layers. So it's they're just there for you can do it.
So we believe in you. Layers.
I believe in you, ham and eggs.
I believe in you.
Great. Spread the first slice, buttered side up, with ham filling. Okay, got it. Second slice with egg filling, presumably butter side up.
Down. All right.
And end with third slice, and I don't know where the butter on that one goes.
It probably should be butter side down because
I would think that one goes butter side down. But does that mean so? Maybe the first slice has butter on it, and then butter side up. It said, okay, that makes sense. So then butter, and then butter side up, and then butter side down. So but you don't do butter on both sides of the middle slice. I mean, like you do for a grilled cheese or something.
You're expecting more than this.
It's a moot point. It's gonna be a buttery, mayonnaise-y, horseradishy,
recipe,
mustardy sandwich.
Woman. All right.
Wrap in foil and chill for at least 1 hour. Now that I didn't expect.
Well, first of all, this has come up again. Are we supposed to wrap it in foil and then we go and chill for an hour? Or are we supposed to wrap it in foil and put it in the refrigerator for an hour?
as usual, wrap it in foil and Netflix and chill with
Yeah, it's
Senator
like,
Ted Cruz.
is that sandwich in the fridge? Like, no, that sandwich is on the counter while I'm chilling. That's what the recipe said.
Okay, I gotta address some of the comments here because Emily's going crazy.
Are we...
Yeah. Crap, I can't make this recipe. I only have unprepared mustard. Sad face. Yeah. No mustard is prepared for this sandwich, I think.
Yeah, make sure your butter is out and ready to spread. Don't pull the butter out of the fridge and just like ruin your bread slices either.
And she also says that the recipe did not call for room temperature butter,
That's what
but
I'm saying.
I think that can be implied. Like if
It's
you're gonna
gotta be
spread
spreadable.
butter on a sandwich, and you're gonna since you're gonna put it back in the fridge for an hour, it's like it's fine. I'd say
Just use some butter flavored Pam.
Yeah.
Spray it right on there.
Sounds yeah. I actually tried that once because of course you have to. Like when you're a kid, it's like you got to try everything once.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't anyone ever think of this? And then
I'm
when
a
you
genius.
taste it, like, because this tastes terrible. That's why.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. At serving time, make frosting by beating cream cheese with milk until fluffy. Milk wasn't an ingredient, neither was cream cheese.
Well, we did
And
never
it
got a
doesn't
list
say
of
how much
ingredients.
of either. So I guess a random amount of cream cheese with a random amount of milk. I guess you're supposed to like beat it. Maybe you just keep drizzling milk in until it's the right consistency. I could buy that.
Okay.
Like frost top and sides of loaf, sprinkle generously with snipped parsley, garnish as desired. So like that's where the tomato rose comes in, I suppose. Like the garnish. Like just jumbo shrimps.
Yeah, it's like go back in time to when people
garnish it with oysters.
People go back in time to when people made tomato roses. I guess maybe. The hell.
Oof. I could see doing a tomato rose. I could see that. I
don't even know how to do a tomato rose.
Just like slice off a little like star in the top, and then you put like parsley in it, like fresh herbs in it.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's great. And here it is. Here's our finished product. There. Look at that.
No. What? This is not a finger sandwich. You can't eat this with your fingers. It's got
no. You cannot. You're gonna have to eat this with with a fork and a knife.
Nah, you put your face right in it like the pig you are.
You just like grab it with your hands at your lady's luncheon. I mean, I am the bread myself, looks terrible. Like
I'm picturing myself with a plastic fork just eating this whole thing by myself.
Yeah.
Also,
guests only for guests only, Lilith.
This isn't going the direction I thought it would.
What direction did you think it was going?
I thought the bread would be going up and down and you'd make it like a loaf, but this is bread going this way.
Yeah, you gotta slice it vertically. That's what they said. Yeah. But you gotta slice the loaf lengthwise.
So then this loaf is just like, all right, forget it. Yeah, whatever.
So what you're gonna do is you're not gonna eat the whole loaf. You're just gonna slice off the ends, like you said, like it. So that's what it is. And
you're not cutting it into slices. You're just going wonk wonk.
Right, that's the thing. Well, I mean, the other option is since you're only doing 3 of an entire loaf of bread, is having just like, I don't know, like a 5-inch slice of bread with another 5-inch and another 5-inch.
When someone says you're making finger sandwiches, I'm assuming you're cutting them and then you're cutting them diagonally and they're like little triangles. You
didn't listen to the instructions.
The instructions were insane.
We're doing butter slices. These are butter slices.
This recipe was written by H.P. Lovecraft, for crying out loud.
It was bananas. It's a little bonkers here. And this is our result right here. And like there is something magical and awful about photographs from the 60s because it's always a little bit blurry. It's always grainy and the colors are always weird.
Colors are always weird.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because like the photograph aged or if that's how I wasn't alive during the 60s, so maybe just the world looked like.
Yeah. Yeah.
know. I don't know. It's a hard thing to parse, like, because it's like I know there wasn't color until the Beatles. The Beatles invented color, so like there wasn't any of that. Like, so here we are. Let me ask you this, Lilith.
Yeah.
You got a review?
I do have a review. So very early on, this mention is for fancy people, people who have guests occasionally, people who might throw a charity luncheon. And I'm just a simple bog witch living in Detroit. I don't know nothing about fancy, right? I'll eat a balled up slice of Detroit style pizza for lunch. I don't know anything about it. So I found someone fancy, wouldn't give me her name, just said she was a fancy woman, and asked her for a review of this. And you ready for it?
I'm ready.
All right, let me get my my fancy vocal cords ready. As a connoisseur of the finest culinary creations, I must extol the virtues of frosted ribbon loaf, an absolute paragon of decadent indulgence. This exquisite confection, with its delicate layers and opulent frosting, is nothing short of a gastronomic marvel. Each slice presents a harmonious symphony of flavors, weaving together in a visual tapestry that is breathtaking as it is delicious. The artistry and impeccable craftsmanship are evident in every luxurious bite, making this loaf a crowning jewel in any discerning Epicurean's repertoire. To partake in the frosted ribbon loaf is to experience a taste of pure, unadulterated elegance. I mean,
fancy person.
yeah, that's a very fancy lady right there.
That was quite the accent as well. I enjoyed that.
Thank you. I think I'll make this my regular accent.
Just like I think with that one, like, you and the berries and cream lad will get along quite well.
Yes, delicious.
I'm a little lad who loves loaves and loaves.
Oh.
I don't even remember the name of this monstrosity.
This is the frosted ribbon loaf.
The frosted ribbon loaf.
Where are the ribbons? Where are the ribbons? There are no ribbons.
I don't know what that means. Like, there's so much about this that I don't understand that isn't clicking. But like, I mean, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, and friends beyond the binary.
Hold on.
This is it. This is the pinnacle of elegance in 1968. So good they had to write articles about it.
That tray that is served on, that's the kind of thing that every person of a certain age group owns, and they're going to leave it to their kids, and their kids are just going to donate.
What am I going to do with this?
In like 15 years ago to a thrift store, and
it's already there.
There'll be a stack of them. It's like 10 cents. Can't give them away. And you're like, what do I do with it? And they're like, well, have you ever made frosted ribbon loaf? And you're going to look at them like they're insane, and you're going to walk away because you don't want to talk to them anymore.
No, you're going to scoop up those trays, and you're going to make frosted ribbon loaf, and you're going to be the hit. You're going to be the hit of the ladies' luncheon.
The hit of the charity ball.
I would eat this. I mean, I would try it. Like, it's egg salad, it's ham salad. Like, I mean, it doesn't look especially good. It looks kind of gross, but like, I would try it. We'll see.
If you came to my house for an elegant charity luncheon, but here's how I would serve this. I would just make crustless egg salad, and instead of butter on the inside, I'd put this cream cheese mixture on the inside. And then you'd have like a little triangle that was ham salad with the cream cheese mixture or egg salad with the cream cheese mixture. I don't know why you're serving finger food to people that's covered in cream cheese on the outside.
I mean,
wouldn't you like that if I made you a ham salad with like a little cream cheese mixture on the inside of the bread?
I don't understand butter. It's like I don't think I've ever had cream cheese and butter together, like, and mayonnaise all in the same thing. But that's just a lot of dairy
and horseradish and Chinese restaurant yellow mustard.
All of it is. I mean, but here's the thing: it's like if I was going to like some sort of fancy thing, and let's take the fancy out of it, like a bridal shower or a wedding shower or something like that, like, and someone like had this and like served it, like I would definitely try it. But I'm already thinking like if you're in nice clothes, this looks like a nightmare. Like, yeah, this is
can
going to
we
get
talk about-
everywhere. This is going to make such a mess. Like, this
we
is the
talk about-
messiest food I've seen.
Can we talk about this parsley sprinkled?
Everywhere, everywhere.
It looks
And that
insane.
it's banana. And like, look at
crazy.
the tomato. That's like a big tomato. That's like a proper hothouse tomato.
Oh, I hope I get a middle piece with a big hunk of tomato on it.
Like, they just shoved parsley in there, like crazy people.
They had like a parsley gun. It was like a bazooka that you fill with parsley and you aim it at it and just like poof, and whatever stuck.
I mean, that's like the least egregious thing about this to me. It's like even the bread is like looks like cheap wheat bread, and like,
let's say we got rid of the parsley, we got rid of the olive garnish, we got rid of the tomato thing.
Let's get rid of the cream cheese on the outside.
Let me finish. And this was just uncut, frosted, and you were like setting up, and you were just helping set up. You didn't know it was made. You would put this on the dessert table.
Yeah, you would.
It looks like a layer cake.
It looks like tiramisu almost.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, imagine thinking it was tiramisu. You know how excited I get? You know how excited
you
I
get a mouthful of this?
Oh my god, if there's tiramisu, I am like, fuck yeah. The tiramisu is the greatest dessert in the history of food. And you like cut into it and you cut and
it's ham and bread.
And you look inside, you're like, what the hell is up with your tiramisu? We're like, oh, that's ribbon frosted sandwiches loaf. And you're like, what? What is wrong with you?
That's bananas. Like, it's crazy talk. And it's just like, okay, so if you're at a proper function, like a fancy function with tea, afternoon, like in 1968, let's include martinis, highballs. You know, you're at this thing, and like the whole point to me of like having the finger sandwiches is specifically because they're not messy and they're not going to get all over your clothes. But you're wearing your Sunday best to one of these things. I mean, this is like, you imagine 1968 and the people that would do this, they had bonnets with veils on them. Like, it's like, this isn't the kind of thing that like you want to get on your nice clothes. This is going to leave just like the tray's going to be a mess. Every plate's going to be a mess. Like, your fingers are going to be a mess. Like the dishes are going to be a mess. This is just the messiest thing I've ever seen.
We're going to put this on the side for right now because you've just reminded me of something. In a previous episode, it was earlier today, but if people will watch the episode. We asked a question like, how do you know you're trans? I would say one of the biggest things where I just felt 100% right is I got dressed up, wig, outfit, makeup, and went with a friend, and we got high tea at the Jefferson in Richmond, which is an old, expensive, and they do like a tea every Friday and Saturday, and you have to make reservations weeks out. And it was just like, oh my god, this feels. If you have this now, we're not talking about this recipe anymore. If you have an opportunity to go do high tea, it might cost like it was like $75. It was a little expensive for tea, but they had you got a whole pot of tea, and they'd bring you more tea because it's just dirt with water poured over it. But then you have like a little tray of like sandwiches and like cutesy little desserts, and you just sit there with your friend. And I went with my one friend, and we're sitting there, and some little girl, her mom like had her birthday party, so it was the mom and this little girl and her 3 friends just sitting around having tea, and I was just like, this is perfect. So there is one place in Detroit I found that does it, but apparently you can't go if you have visible tattoos. Yeah.
Whoa!
Well, it's at like a monastery or something. And so yeah. So I have to find a different place to have high tea, but yeah, they're like,
or you have to infiltrate that place. Like,
no, I can respect that if it's
you don't want to. Yeah, no need to upset the apple cart. But like, yeah, it's like, Okay, that's super weird though. It's like especially these days, like it's like who doesn't have tattoos, visible tattoos, like in
Well, I mean, I suppose that I
2024?
could do it. I mean, I
You'd
suppose
have
I
to
could, like,
cover your. Oh yeah, you
I'd
wouldn't
have
wear
to
a
make up
tank
my
top,
yeah.
yeah. Like yeah, but you wear gloves or something
But
I don't know. Like
let's take something good from this horrific journey we've just been on, and I encourage everyone out there to go out, splurge a little on yourself, get some friends, and go out and find a place that does high tea and just have
sounds
some
wonderful to me.
so
I don't even
wonderful.
like tea, but that sounds like a delightful experience that I would like to have that I never have.
Oh, the Richmond one had
Yeah.
this. The Jefferson had a special tea that was it was a blend just for them. It was like a Christmas tea, and it tasted like if you imagine what Christmas, the flavors of Christmas, it was in this tea.
Yeah.
It was ham and
Megan
horseradish.
Allspice. Yeah.
Ham and horseradish.
All right, that's it for Culinary Delights. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching Being Trans with Lilith and Amanda.
Show the
Don't
mug.
forget.
Show the mug. Show the mug.
Oh, yeah, we got these. We got these beautiful things. If you haven't seen, if you're just getting here, this is a mug. This is a coffee mug. It says, don't talk to me until I've had my hormones. You know what? Hang on. I'm going to do this right. I'm going to end this.
People watching live are completely baffled. Like, you just did it
Yeah.
right.
No, I know, but I'm going to do it. I didn't do it right. I didn't do it right because I didn't do this. Here's what I had to do.
Oh,
So yeah, so thank you for watching. I'm gonna say all of that over because like it's all of that's gonna get cut out because we need to get rid of that screen.
Do you want me to go back to being like, oh, show the cup, show the cup?
No, because we're just gonna pretend like you didn't do that, and I'm just it's gonna make me look better.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
You didn't have to remind me to
You're not
show
going to
it.
cut out the stuff about high tea, though, are you?
No, that's all
Okay,
staying in there.
okay.
That's all going to stay in there. But I am going to cut out that just this last little bit.
Sure.
Y'all are behind the fourth wall. You're all seeing it work in progress here. But I was just saying, thank you for watching Culinary Delights. I am Amanda Bonanza. That is Lilith Electra. We do Culinary Delights every other Thursday at noon on the Transverse YouTube channel and on the transverse.net. If you're not a member of the Transverse, you should join. You can join the Transverse. You can get into the Discord. It's the Transection Discord. Not sure how to get there. I think you can go to transverse.net. There'll be instructions on how to get in there and there. If you haven't, easiest thing you could do is just hit the like button right now and hit the subscribe button, and then our numbers go up. More people see it. More people come in. That's how this works, and we'd really love that. I know everyone says like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, but that's because it just makes everything better for everybody.
Click the bell for notifications.
Click the bell for notifications.
I know you don't like telling people to do that.
I don't like getting notifications, but like might like getting notifications. So let us know that we're live because you forget that every Saturday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, we are live on YouTube and Twitch doing this show, Being Trans with Lilith Amanda. That's what this is. And all that stuff, you can go to the Transverse /Etsy.com, and that's going to get you a bunch of merch, including you can get one of these right here. This is a coffee mug that just hit the scene, and it says, don't talk to me until I've had my hormones. Hell yeah, trans people. Like,
what's
this one
logo under hormones. What is the
that's a syringe and a thing of pills.
Okay, cool.
You could get this beautiful coffee mug among other transgender positive merchandise available at our Etsy store and our shop, and you can get those. I ordered that about 3 days ago and I got it. I already got it. It's intact. It's beautiful. It's high quality. It's a great coffee mug, and it's going to be my new coffee mug. That's what I'm now going to drink coffee out of. You don't have to just drink coffee out of it. You can drink anything you want out of it. We talked about this.
You could also, you know what else you could do? You could buy a small cactus and plant the cactus in it.
You could put a cactus in there. That's exactly another thing you could do. That's very much something you could do. Like, you get all artsy craftsy with it. You can do whatever it is. It's a container. But that's about that. I think we're going to call it a day. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Thank you, Shide, for giving us our first live question. That's our
Oh.
first one that we've ever had. We're really thankful for that. And we would love to hear more of that. If you've got questions for Transition Tuesday, you can either let us know like she did in the chat and we'll address it, or like you can send us a DM on the Discord, on the Transection Discord, or you can email us at media@thetransverse.net. Any of those ways will get us the questions, or you can leave a comment in this YouTube video or another YouTube video, and we will find all the comments and we'll go through those. And we would love to answer your questions about the transgender experience. And I think that's about that. Is there any more housekeeping you got?
If you're in the Tampa area, I'll be performing at the Countdown Improv Festival on the 10th. Countdown Improv Festival. If you go to their website, you'll see the full schedule on Saturday night, one of the last shows of the festival. Come out and see me. I always do something crazy. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll have to figure it out on the flight down.
It's Tampa, Florida. You got to get crazy down in that joint.
Got it. Last year I gave myself an estrogen shot on stage, and then took my top off and let everyone see my lushy boobs.
Let her fly.
Yeah, let them fly. Probably not going to do that this year.
You're going to have to go die in Paris like Jim Morrison.
Hey, I'm still here. I can still die however I want. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for joining us.
Whether it's 1968 or 2024, you should take off all your clothes on stage in Florida. It's definitely. This never gets old.
I'm following in my hero's footsteps. All right, y'all. This has been great. We'll see you next week. Amanda, it's been real as always.
Yeah. We love y'alls. Take care. Have a great day.